Hey guys, this is the brainstorming and why it's important to writing your paper presentation. Now, I know many of you hate brainstorming. You don't see the importance of it. However, in this case, a well-planned paper will actually read better for your readers. It'll make more sense. It'll show that you've thought this out and not just thrown it together. Remember, this is for your graduation. Do you want to graduate? This is the way to do it. Plan your paper. Do you need to do it in a formal setting? No. You can type it in a Google Docs. You can just throw it on a sheet of paper that's next to you. However you want to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so how do we write a great paper? We need to decide on a few things first. One, what are you going to write about? Two, what do you want to say about your topic? Three, and how do you want to lay out what you're writing about? Now, if you are writing for the English 2-star, you will be writing a persuasive paper. You have the following prompts to choose from. Number 1, should free speech have its limitations? Number 2, do violent video games cause people to act violently in real life? Number 3, should recycling be mandatory for everyone? Number 4, should racial slurs be made illegal? Number 5, should domestic surveillance be illegal without a warrant? Now, guys, I know many of you are tempted to say, well, I agree with both. I'll just write both, say, both sides and kind of compare them. That's not a persuasive paper. To write a persuasive paper, you have to decide which side you are going to follow. You cannot be wishy-washy with this. You have to say, yes, I agree, or no, I disagree, and here is why. If you do not do this, you cannot pass. You cannot pass the persuasive paper if you do not choose a side and commit to it. Now, here's what I want you to do. Which side is easiest for you? Is it easier for you to agree that free speech should have its limitations? No shame in it. Do it. And then prove it. If you don't agree with something, say you don't agree racial slurs should be made illegal, then you know what? No one is going to judge you. We're going to judge you by your writing. What your politics are or anything has nothing to do with that. We want to see that you can write an effective persuasive paper, and that is all that's important to us. So choose the side that you feel easiest is for you to write. Don't worry about your reader. Now, if you are reading the English 1, if you're writing the English 1-star, you will be writing an expository paper, and you need to choose from the following. Number 1, explain why it is important to read. Number 2, if you could be any other person for a day, who would you be? Explain why you would like to be that person for a day. Number 3, everyone has responsibilities. Write a paper explaining a responsibility you have now or will have in the future and why you shoulder that responsibility. Number 4, if you could change one thing about your school, what would you change? Explain why. Number 5, your generation faces many problems. Identify one of these problems that you feel is the most important. Explain it and propose some possible solutions to the problem. Guys, once again, write what's easiest for you, okay? Choose what you know the most about. Now that you have your topic, what do you need to do next? Okay, so you need to begin to brainstorm. And the best way to do that is to remember the words help. You need 3 subtopics for your topic. And this will be explained a little more in the thesis. Each subtopic will have its own paragraph. So to come up with these subtopics, use help. H, history. E, entertainment. L, literature. P, personal or pop culture. So how do you use help? Well, look for examples in history. Are there any stories of historical people or events that you can use that help make your point? What about for entertainment? Are there any stories for people in entertainment, whether it's music, film, or sports, that you can use to help make your points? Have you read any books or any short stories that you can use to help make your point? What about in your personal life or in pop culture? Do you have any personal stories you can use? Or is there a story from someone in the news that you know of? A politician, maybe. Someone, not in entertainment, like the Kardashians, because let's face it, they're not in entertainment, but they are part of pop culture. Maybe there's something that is really in your generation, maybe a TikTok video you saw that can help back up your point. We don't have to see it. You just have to tell us about it. Okay, so some of you may have questions about personal stories, and I understand because we can be really sensitive about our personal stories. First of all, do you have to use your name? No. This can be cousin or friend, fictional or otherwise. We don't care. Make up a cousin, make up a friend, make up an aunt. Does it have to be a real event? Maybe you don't really have a personal story to lend to your paper. However, you can make up one. Yes, as long as there's no aliens or vampires in that story, feel free to make it up. And remember, your readers, guys, they're not going to check your background. They're not going to do a background check your facts. So don't worry about making it up, making people up. All I ask you to do is commit to the story. So let's say you're writing about something and your personal story that you're adding to back up what you're talking about is a time you got in trouble for, you got grounded for maybe sneaking out of the house. Okay, so don't just tell us, yes, I got in trouble and I got grounded. Tell us why. Well, I snuck out of the house, I got caught, this is what happened. You don't have to write a whole page narrative, but give us 2 or 3 sentences and tell us, commit to that story. Tell us why you got in trouble. What did it do? Because that tells us that you're really trying to show us how this example fits your paper. So if you have any other questions, let me know. But we do have one final step, how to lay out a paper. Once you've decided what stories to use, decide what you want to talk about first. What do you think is the most important story or fact to use in your paper first? Then you take the next one. What do you think is the next important? And what is the third important? Because remember, you have to have 3 subtopics for each paper. So if you have any questions, let me and Miss Evans know. We will be happy to help you. And good luck.